Top of the morning to you, or afternoon or evening, whenever you may be watching. I just read the words from this t-shirt, and my name is Scott. I represent the SL in Game Slam, and today I am joined by an esteemed guest, recurring guest, our friend Adam. And we are very excited to kick off the first annual 2020 SLAMMY Awards. Big things happening today. We're very excited, and we're going to have 7 different awards, 7 different categories before the ultimate Game Slam game of the year. So big stuff happening today, and I just got to ask, what are you most excited for?
Oh my goodness. I am happy to be a part of the first annual SLAMMY Awards. Mm-hmm. Truly a historic moment for the channel and for
Never
myself.
happened before.
I'm glad that it's Christmas time. I appreciate the tree and everything you've put into the decorations. Mm-hmm. I'm just excited to see all the nostalgia in the awards that are to come.
Well, there will be nostalgia, and what better way to kick it off than with our first award. All right, people, we are diving into one of our categories, which is favorite retro disc game of the year. And the word favorite is very important there, because in no way are any of these awards supposed to be, we think this is the best game because of X, Y, and Z mechanics or graphics. Like, these are the games that were enjoyed the most in 2020, and these happen to be some older games of the disc variety. So we have a couple nominees that we're both going to run through real quick before announcing what the sealed envelope from the Academy has for the SLAMMY. So kicking it off, we have an esteemed nomination of Sonic Adventure. The next nominee will be Kingdom Hearts, and the final nominee will be Luigi's Mansion. So Sonic Adventure. This is a Dreamcast game. This is really the first Dreamcast experience I had. Played it early 2020, like pre-pandemic, January, February, and what I really enjoyed about this game was the vibrant colors. It looked beautiful on that Dreamcast, the 3D, and also just that it was very similar to Mario 64, where you're repeating certain levels. You're going through the Green Hill Zone a lot, but it's upbeat, fast, good music, and good vibes. So Sonic Adventure gets a tip of the cap from me. Kingdom Hearts, we have been part of a much larger project talking about this game, so it's hard to boil it down to a quick commentary on it, but I just wanted to say I enjoyed what I played beyond the Friday night rental as well. And there's a very emotional scene towards the end where, you know, Sora is talking about how, like, I don't need a weapon, like my friends are my power. And with how crazy 2020 was, like, I thought that was some good stuff.
Obviously a personal favorite of mine. Very excited to see it as a nomination.
It's got to be the music too.
Oh yeah.
So, do you have a favorite track on Kingdom Hearts?
Probably the Dearly Beloved. Just
That's
like
really good.
Title screen.
Yeah.
I usually don't click start game or play game
Just let
until
it play a little
let
bit.
it play through at least one time.
I could see you hopping on the piano and playing that sometime.
I have.
I gotta go with that and Kyrie's theme.
Yeah.
I really like Kyrie's theme too. And the last game we have for nomination, Luigi's Mansion. So this was a fall playthrough of Kevin and I here at the Game Slam house. Brought back a lot of good memories, and it's a nice spooky game for the fall season.
Very, very appropriate for Halloween. Mm-hmm. It's a great playthrough.
It is, and it's nice that Luigi got to have his own moment, his own spotlight, and it was not what people were expecting when this came out, early GameCube, but great game. So had to give a nomination to this as
Definitely
well.
Falls into the retro category. I mean, they're up to Luigi's Mansion 3.
That's a good
now on
point.
the Switch.
That's a good point. And there's arcade games of it, and my goodness, the franchise has certainly done well. So
the Mario Kart, his little vacuum car pops up when it makes an appearance.
I love that. But yeah, these are all late 90s, early 2000s. It's kind of strange for me to say that
that's retro.
PS2 and GameCube is retro, but I guess it has been almost like 20 years. So it's in that category. For now, the long-awaited moment for the winner of the category. The SLAMMY goes to Kingdom Hearts. Wow. Woo! Yes! 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 Kingdom Hearts is the winner of the Retro Disc SLAMMY, the Retro Disc game SLAMMY. And what do you think the Academy was thinking on this one?
I don't think they had to think very much. Soundtrack, story, the graphics for the time, considering this as a retro game compared to the others of a similar generation.
Yes.
It was something that's new in the realm of, it was RPG-like, yet it was live decision-making.
Right.
Move your character around in a 3D world and use the same Final Fantasy magic and incorporate the Disney and the renaissance of all those movies that were becoming popular in that 2001, 2002 time range, and then also the Final Fantasy games that were coming big, getting up into PlayStation 1 and launching on PlayStation 2.
Big time. Big time. Greatest hits. It's there for a reason, people. I mean, this is a great game. And like we said with Luigi's Mansion, springboarded a franchise. I mean, you have told me there are like 10 games now.
And they're still going.
They're still going. There's no end in sight. And my goodness, I think part of the reason the Academy picked this game too is the Academy is a big fan of Square Enix games in general and had never gone through this franchise within that game maker. So I think it was a joining and a blending of great taste and a great game. So this was a clear winner for the SLAMMY Award.
Well, congratulations for that.
Yes, congratulations. You guys did it. Everyone from this crew in 2002, thank you. All right, people, we are on to a category of the SLAMMYs that has been dubbed most nostalgic addition to the collection. Something that is very difficult to quantify. I don't even know how you could quantify something such as this, but there's something that is, hard to explain when you see something from your childhood. A McDonald's toy, a Pokemon card, something like this that you remembered getting when you were a kid, that's just so special. And being that me, Sergio, and Mike, we collect this kind of stuff, we've decorated our tree with this kind of stuff, wanted to highlight a few special pickups throughout the year and fortunately get my esteemed colleague's thoughts as he grew up with these kind of things as well. So the nominees for most nostalgic pickup to the collection, we have Pokemon Stadium 2 complete in box. We have the Mario Party 2 Nintendo Power Edition. And we have Super Mario Bros. 3 NES complete in box. So starting out with Pokemon Stadium 2 complete in box. What a game. I mean, looking at the back here, we're seeing some of the mini games, we're seeing the gameplay, and my goodness, just the shine of this box is capturing my eye.
All the memories flooding back.
They're flooding.
Specifically, I remember the Blissey minigame, catching the eggs that are falling off the side of the skyscraper.
Egg Emergency. That's a good one.
Lots of childhood years growing up with my brothers playing those mini games and then doing those Coliseum battles.
Oh, so good. I enjoyed the pincer scyther cut game, when you're like, do I go for like the white, like on the money, or do I miss it and get negative points? So yeah, I think, you know, this game balanced both a one-player experience with the stadium and also that multiplayer feel with the bros. So no surprise here that this got a nomination for this category. I think the Academy's onto something there. Next up, we have the Nintendo Power Mario Party 2. A bunch of sequel games here in this category.
Lots of Pokemon nostalgia inside of the Nintendo Power.
Now,
though.
yes, you bring up a great point, as look at this advertisement. We have the old Pokemon card advertisement, and you were telling me some of your thoughts when we were looking at this off screen on like the art style.
The art style of the Squirtle here just completely brings me back to Pokemon cards. Even just the little throw-ins of the advertisements of Pikachu holding the packs.
So good.
I love it.
That is true marketing right there. And you know, another page I have to pull up from a nostalgia perspective is right here. Generation 2. It's basically the gold and silver announcement. The starters we have in our tree. And I gotta ask you, do you have any memories of, after playing Red and Blue, just wondering like what that next wave would be like?
New Pokemon, new region, hearing anything about a new game, it was just complete hype. It was like, what did you have to expect going from one to a second?
Yeah.
And it didn't disappoint. Hearing anything new, seeing any sort of new Pokemon, the pictures of the starters. It's that same hype you get now when there's a new Pokemon game. You hear a new Pokemon game comes out, you immediately see the starters get announced, and there's just immediate.
You get the feel. It hits different, as the kids say, and as they say in the Pokemon Johto theme song, it's a whole new world we live in. Do 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 do.
It's a whole new world we live in. It's a whole new way to see. It's a whole new place with a brand new attitude, but you still gotta catch 'em all. Be the best that you can be.
And my goodness, yeah, just even though it was in like kind of Japanese, seeing that reminded me of the Gen 2 preview as a kid. And word on the street is the Game Slam team is doing some kind of gold silver playthrough, some kind of Pokemon Stadium 2 playthrough right now.
You should check that out.
Yeah,
I would check it out.
I also would check it out. I would spend some time on that. And the last nominee for the SLAMMY, Super Mario Bros. 3. So, like I said, we happen to have 3 like sequel games, like 3 series games in this category. And make no mistake, this is the oldest one, but it hit me pretty hard being someone who grew up with a Nintendo and grew up with this game. I really just think having that arcade experience at home was a very special feeling, and you didn't have to use any quarters. And the SLAMMY for most nostalgic addition to the collection goes to... Wow, so they did go with Super Mario Bros. 3. Yes! A good decision by the Academy. So what do you think the Academy was thinking on this one? Just nostalgia for it being the oldest game?
The oldest game, arcade feeling. Maybe in particular for the Academy, it could have been one of the first games.
That's a good point.
It
could have been.
It could have been.
Right.
It's a great choice.
It is a great choice. I think there's also just some nostalgia with an NES box. You know, these are very difficult to find, and when you find one in good condition, it's going to hit pretty hard. And just this Mario art, this hits me about as hard as, like you were saying, with the Squirtle and some of that type of art style in the Nintendo Power. Seeing this Mario with the raccoon ears when you get the leaf in the game, that brings back just crazy good memories to me. So I think this is a great decision for the Academy, and another SLAMMY has been handed out.
Well, congratulations. To Super
Congratulations.
Mario.
Well deserved. Next up, people, we got a good one for you here. I don't know if I should say that because that would infer that the other categories are not as good, but I get excited about all of them. And this is for you, you Gen Zers out there. This is for you kids, because we talk a lot of retro here, right? We do Friday night rentals. We explore the vault of what there is to offer. But also, we are people who like to play the new games. We like to play the games that are hot off the press. We want to get in there while the getting is good. And with all that said, this is our category for Best New Game. And I want to make the caveat, similar to when we started, this is not necessarily new 2020 games. I know that would make the most sense, but really it is just current generation console games. I think that's the best way to put it, because, for example, if I had never played Zelda Breath of the Wild before and I played it this year, I wouldn't feel like I was playing an old game, right? So although I believe all three of these games, or two of them, came out in 2019, and then the third one came out in either 2017 or 18, to me they were new experiences. So the nominees are as follows. We have Pokemon Sword for the Nintendo Switch. We have Fire Emblem 3 Houses for the Nintendo Switch. And we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. So three Switch games, and want to break these down a little bit. So the first one I mentioned was Pokemon Sword. I actually got this for Christmas of 2019, and I cranked through the majority of the game, actually the day of, but I had a little bit left to finish in January of this year, so it was a part of my 2020 gaming experience. I thought it was an enjoyable game. I didn't like it quite as much as the previous 7th generation, but being the first Switch Pokemon game, it was an enjoyable experience. I feel like I got my money's worth, but it didn't really exceed or fall from where I had set the bar. Next one I have here is Fire Emblem 3 Houses. This was what I would consider one of my first quarantine games. I picked this up in April and really dove into the journey. And it was a really special experience for me to have a story to be continuing, to just get my mind off what was going on in the world. Really fun game, very different from other Fire Emblem games. I would say it's almost a hybrid with like a Harry Potter type story. If you think of the three houses as like a Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, this is sort of set up like that. The last one we had was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Sort of opposite of Pokemon Sword, this was a recent pickup for me, but I had played it before. So I just got the game, but I had played it earlier in the year. It's Mario Kart, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really mess this one up. You know what you're gonna get, but they just add in a lot of things that makes it a fun and different experience than the other games. So this is a really fun one to just pick up with people who maybe don't play a lot of video games. Great party game as usual. With all that said, people, like I always say, there can only be one. There can only be one. So I'm gonna lay these out before I pick up the card here. So the SLAMMY for favorite new game of the year goes to, I hope the audio isn't terrible when I crinkle this paper. The SLAMMY for 2020 new game of the year goes to Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Woo! Yes! Yes! Yes!
like I said, this is a game I dove into head first in April and went through, the entire summer with it as well. And it was sometime in the fall when I pretty much wrapped it up. And I never felt like I was grinding in this game. I don't want to give a full review because I might do that later, but to give what I liked about the game is it kept flowing. You could put it down for a week, pick it up, and it's very organized what your tasks are without them being repetitive and boring. And to someone like me, that is exactly the type of game I like to play. So this was my favorite new game experience and got a well-deserved SLAMMY for being such. People, we're moving on to the next category, and in this case, it's going to be one that is a little different than some you've seen prior, some different SLAMMYs. This is the best value pickup. So this is basically, I wanted to try to boil down to a single item what is the best value we received for, the least amount of money paid. Now, a quick disclaimer, because this has been such an interesting year, and I've got a lot of stuff for free. I got, the PS3 and PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1. Just a lot of things were given to me out of such great generosity from people. And so I decided to include just one free item as a nominee for this award. However, the other two are ones that we actually paid money for. So the nominees for the best value pickup are the green Game Boy Pocket, the blue, cobalt blue Game Boy Advance SP, and Ogre Battle for PlayStation. So starting off here, yes, I did mention I was going to choose an item that I got for free, and the reason I wanted to include this is because it was a little different than that PlayStation set. If you remember the episode, those were things that were set aside for me. Those were things that someone wanted to basically donate, and they donated them to me. And even the Zelda, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker that were given to me, those were things that someone set aside for me. But this is one that I asked about, I inquired about, I was ready to spend money on because I've never had a Game Boy Pocket, and we were able to get this for free. Retails in that $30 to $40 range. Next one, another handheld console, the Game Boy Advance SP. If you remember from the summer, Austin and I put together a Mission Nostalgia episode where we did some garage sailing. I was being a big old hater and was thinking that we should not go back to the sale.
No.
So
they're gonna, and I don't think it's worth the drive.
Where we ended up picking this up, as well as a Nintendo 64, a Game Boy Advance, Super Mario 64, a ton of quality stuff. I got a PSP as well. And the reason I included this is mostly because I really wanted to add this to the collection. I've never had a Game Boy Advance SP before, but also just the value that we struck between us. I mean, I was $30 into that lot, Austin was $30 into that lot, and this alone retails for in that $75, $80, $90 range. I mean, this is in pristine condition. Even all the labeling is like completely together. So the fact that it already had paid for itself without this on that $30 I put into it, this was just a big value addition. And the last one, yes, Ogre Battle for the PlayStation. So I mentioned that I got a good deal on this in our Christmas special, but I wanted to talk through the values a little bit. So not only was this a game I wanted to get to play, and we will be playing this, I'm promising a lot, but I'm saying early 2021 for a lot of Friday night rentals. This may be Q2, this may be in the second quarter of the year, but it's going to be soon. And value-wise, I picked this up for a great deal. So in terms of condition, I will say there's kind of a scratch here. I think you can see it on that angle. Very common with my PlayStation games, at least. I'm not sure about you guys. Let me know down below if your PS1 games tend to get cracks in them on the cases. Must just be the quality, but the value of this game is still very high. So I picked it up for, I think, $40, maybe $35. It was part of a bundle that I was able to drive down a little bit. So I think we could say about $35 is what I was into this game. It retails in that $80 to $90 range. I've seen it go as high as $120. And if you want to ding me for this crack a little bit, perhaps we could say, what, $60 to $70? We still crush it on this one. So some great nominees with some great value, but there can only be one, people. There can only be one. So I have right in front of me, the SLAMMY goes to... Wow, okay, the Game Boy Advance SP, the Cobalt Blue Game Boy Advance SP. So I guess I'm going to have to just speculate a little bit what I think the Academy was thinking here. I think part of it is because of the condition of this, and between the three nominees, this was in the legit wild. This was at a garage sale. The item was not even sitting out. And based on the journey to get it, as well as it being something that we wanted to add to the collection, and really getting it for pennies on the dollar, this is your 2020 SLAMMY winner for Best Value Pickup.